Sir.
Are you with me, Titus Pullo? Will you come with me to Rome?
Yes. Yes, sir. Certainly.
Titus Pullo is with me. And you? Are you with me?
Mr. Lord Venus, welcome to RT. Very nice to see you. So how will Ukraine's political powers react now after what the US has planned for their political scene?
I'm sorry, did you say European political forces?
No. Actually, I'm talking about the Ukrainian political forces.
Okay, well, actually, what the Ukrainian government and the Ukrainian opposition can learn from this is actually nothing new. I would say to them, welcome to the real world of diplomacy behind closed doors. This confirms a long stance of the United States and the EU, by the way, towards other countries, the disdain that they show for the democracy and sovereignty of other countries. This is what happened in the 16th and 17th in Latin America, all over the world. But this is the new phase of colonialism, in a way. So I'm not at all surprised. What the Ukrainian government in power, that is, should learn from this, that yes, this is a proof of what they already long time suspected, that the US and the EU are heavily involved and interfering in the politics of their country.
Victoria Nuland also said that the US's policies in Ukraine are totally transparent. And she said that in response to some claims that the US is actually financing and investing billions in their Ukrainian policies. Do you think that this leaked phone call can undermine that claim?
Yeah, of course, this once more undermines the whole claim of transparency and democracy building and capacity building of political institutions. These are all ideological efforts to influence politics in other countries. This is what the United States has been doing for decades. It just confirms a long stance. It also, by the way, shows how casual these people can talk about the politics of another country, where they have no legitimate way of influencing things. Well, this is what they do. This is the real world of geopolitics.
The US has insisted the destiny of Ukraine should be in the hands of its own people. But how much influence does the public have on their country's political situation?
Well, of course, the Ukrainian people, with all the complexity and the historical divides that they have, are the real victim here, because what the country needs is reconciliation. And what is happening right now is the EU and the US on one side influencing politics so that a compromise becomes impossible. What the Ukrainian people need is another political elite from the government side as well as from the opposition. Because when I see some of these leaders, the one that you already mentioned, the one that the US also thinks unsuitable to become a minister, the democratic so-called credentials of these people are abysmal. So for the moment, the Ukrainian people have no real option within the political elite as they are right now.
And briefly, if you can, so we know that this scandal forced the President of the European Parliament to express his concern at such high-profile wiretapping. Is this really the only thing the EU should be worried about, you think?
The EU, well, first of all, when you said the EU, who are we talking about, the people or the elite or the European Commission? The EU, when you mean the people in power in these institutions, of course, they should worry about the fact that they are really second player in these issues, all pretense aside, and that when it really comes down to things, the US does not regard the EU as an ally. It's just a matter of cooperation for convenience. But when it suits them, they will just drop them just as easily.
All right, Lord Venus, former Deputy Speaker of the Belgian Parliament. Mr. Venus, thank you very much.
I'm so glad that I don't have a gun. On night like this, I might use one. Straight to your porch light, that's where I'm I might run. I'm so glad for everyone. I'm so glad that you went away on a night like tonight. I wish you'd stay. My moon don't shine and my truck don't run. Drunk as I am, it's just a good thing I don't have a gun. 'Cause if it all goes straight to hell, well, you better jump and run and get on your knees and thank the Lord that I don't have a gun. They say God makes a plan for everyone, every woman, every man. How long you run till your moon don't shine and your truck it don't run. I'm so glad that I don't have a gun. Cause if it all goes straight to hell, you better jump and run. Get on your knees and thank the Lord. I'm so glad that I don't have a gun. On a night like this, Lord, I might use one. Straight to your porch light, Lord, that's where I might run. I'm so glad that I don't have a gun. I don't hurt nobody. I don't hurt nobody. I don't hurt nobody. I don't hurt nobody.
Hey everyone, this is DJ Doom, and you're in the mix here on the Alternate Media Broadcasting Network.
February 7th, 2014. So what does an order for 150,000 rounds of Hornady sniper ammunition and .308 caliber have to do with the Department of Homeland Security ordering briefing, planning, and reporting analysis support for an emergency response and mass migration across the border? Well, we think it adds up to Homeland insecurity. Now, they released this ammunition order on a slow news cycle Friday. Now, obviously, based on ICE's current functional job description, they're not planning to stop illegal border immigration with it. So what do you do with this? Well, maybe you walk it across to your buddies in the Sinaloa cartel. After all those weapons the ATF walked across to their buddies over there, somebody has to feed them. And such a gambit might help stop a mass, uncontrolled migration. Or maybe they just want to send some more funds Steve Hornady's way. Or maybe they just want to keep ammunition availability low and maybe have the president decree an executive order to remove all lead. When the president decreed an executive order to ban Cuban cigars, first thing they did before they did it, went out and bought up all the Cuban cigars. Lead bullets become expensive to come by after the fact. Or it could be that ICE is expecting some sort of major destabilization a la Syria and Mexico. The potential of mass migration attempt across the border. Refugee camps in Texas. That's what this order is for. Provide program support, project management, operations coordination, planning, and policy support regarding all hazards, emergency crisis management, preparedness, continuity of operations, and enterprise resilience before, during, and after natural and man-made and/or technological incidents or events. Basically, uncontrolled migration across the border. So something unusual is going on. Whatever it is, it ain't good.
You're listening to the AMB network. The future is now.
Workers are set to decide this weekend on whether to put a cap on the country's influx of migrants. A controversial bill proposed by Switzerland's Nationalist Party plans to introduce quotas against foreigners, but some say shutting the Swiss border would only cause problems for the economy, as artist Lucy Kavanagh reports.
Welcome to Switzerland. Breathtaking views, plentiful jobs, and low taxes. It's no surprise that the streets here are growing more crowded. Some 80,000 new residents arrive each year, a significant number for a country of just 8 million.
Our industry, our economy needs immigration to a certain point. But everybody underestimated the situation. The number of people coming is much, much higher than anywhere else in the world.
On Sunday, Switzerland will ask its citizens whether to reintroduce quotas for immigration from abroad, including EU members. Although itself not a part of the bloc, Switzerland had signed on to the EU rules on freedom of movement. If passed, the initiative would pit the Swiss against an angry Brussels, but supporters aren't worried.
The Swiss parties and the Swiss political elite, they were very enthusiastic about joining the European Union 10 years ago. But people changed. They saw the disadvantages, they saw the immigration is tremendous, much bigger than we thought, and so there's also a change of thinking.
And anti-immigration slogans are gaining more traction here in Switzerland. At first, about a third of voters supported the initiative. Now, that figure is over 40%. So what's behind this push to keep outsiders out of Switzerland? Well, some experts say emotions have a lot to do with it.
There is competition on the housing market, competition in traffic, and there is competition on the labor market. So citizens feel some anger. It's populist politics playing with this anger in this field.
But as elsewhere in Europe, anti-immigration messages seem to be resonating. And pollsters say even voters without political affiliation may vent their frustration come Sunday. Voters like this Swiss businessman who owns a cosmetics factory.
As a manufacturer, I profit from this. The more people I sell my products to, the better. But I'm also a Swiss citizen. I don't want to live like a sardine in my country. Switzerland is tiny, and we simply can't accommodate all the immigrants. The country can't take any more.
But the proposed curbs also take aim at highly skilled workers.
There's no way to run the health or education system without foreign workers. There's no way to do modern business, in particular financial services, banking, without foreigners. And there's no way to run tourism without waiters and cooks from other countries. Switzerland is highly dependent on this workforce.
4 in 10 companies in Switzerland, including Nestle, are founded by foreigners. Last year, they created around 30,000 new jobs.
For us, it's a bit weird that now they are against the foreigners because they need them. I mean, we are not stealing the jobs. We are just taking the job they don't want to do. So that's why I think also this potential law, I don't understand that, honestly.
Sunday's vote is likely to strain ties with Brussels. But the fear is that it could have more economic consequences than the country bargained for. Reporting for RT in Switzerland, I'm Lucy Calfano.
The Syrian government confirmed its participation in the next round of Geneva peace talks set to take place Monday, while radical